Milk tonight. What is gamer milk? Well, gamer milk is blue because it's gamer milk, and it's blue gamers because it's gamer milk, and it's gamer milk because it's blue. So we're got 100 subscribers to go to 500 subscribers here. We just surpassed 400. Thank you so much for the overwhelming support on the channel. Tonight, most RPGs have disappointing fucking magic systems. I think the only mainstream RPG I've played that hasn't had a disappointing fucking magic system was probably like Dragon's Dogma, right? And since Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out in a couple days and I'm cautious, that means it's either gonna be really fucking good or dog shit compared to the first game. But out of all the mainstream RPGs, that's the only one that's really had like a good magic system. And as somebody who craves good magic systems in games, I fucking love Noita. If you're looking for a good magic game, fucking games I've ever played, it's so goddamn fun, and I can't stop fucking playing it. This is going to be the Why Noita is one of the best fucking games ever made. That shoots another duck out of its mouth, that by the third time, that and projectiles, that it's honestly one of the most infinitely replayable games I've ever had. Ducks launching thermonuclear bombs? I know what you're thinking, Levi, you're a fucking schizo, and you'd be right, and that's noiting here, so you can become a true Noita like the rest of us. Well, let me teach you some of the basics of this game. So, now these wands typically have a recharge rate, a mana capacity, a mana recharge rate, as how fast your wand will reload itself after it's done casting spells, and then mana capacity and mana. Noita is simultaneously a roguelike shooter and a deck builder at the same time. So wands themselves have a specific amount of spell slots, and those will sometimes be fucking shuffling or not shuffling, and those will compound off of each other to cast fucking bonkers projectiles. Spells can pretty much be balanced into two categories. You got projectiles and projectile modifiers, and the best way you can maximize your spell casting modifiers with the appropriate projectile spells. Now, there's also different types of modifiers to projectile spells. You can have specific projectile spells that will cast another spell next on the list after a timer goes out, or these are called trigger and timer variants of spells as well. And by properly combining trigger spells, spell modifiers, and regular old projectile spells, you can, as you'll learn what the spells do, what the modifiers do, and the things to blow up your enemies with. Noita is just a straight video game. It's pretty easy to understand. Noita, the much more rewarding that it gets. You start out, covers the basics of Noita's mechanics. Traditionally, you aren't able to slot spells into wands unless you're in the in-between stages of an area known as the Holy Mountain. You can get a perk that allows you to edit wands anywhere. I just fucking mod my game to be able to edit wands anywhere all the time. That's probably the only thing I don't actually agree with the developers on, and most people just edit wands anywhere all the time, since all it really serves to do is constrict you from being able to play around with the game's goofy-ass fucking spell-building deck simulator. Anyways, let's move on to some of the other reasons that I think this is one of my favorite games of all fucking time here. Out of the way and hidden shit the developers hid in the game. Noita of exploring and actually uncovering secrets in a video game. Noita has dozens of fucking secret spells, bosses, and locations all just in its vanilla game, and I haven't even fucking begun to discover half of those just in the vanilla game. Mods add even fucking more shit to discover, but like any good roguelike game, such as Binding of Isaac, alternate reality games, these are typically mysteries to do with the game's lore itself that actually have to be solved, you know. One of Noita's ARG little puzzles, fucking idea what they meant, and it took a literal electrical engineer to fucking study those and figure it out and find out that these eye symbols were actually correlative to something in electrical theory. Noita is the only electrical science to be able to decipher everything in this game. It's fucking nuts. Overall, Noita has probably everything else have. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still wiki your way through this game, but itself. There are so many areas in Noita that do such areas that you're not supposed to be in, and it really gives you an interesting sense of exploration, like you're really fucking doing something, and you're really actually unlocking shit by playing this game. The $20 this game costs. In fact, I'd easily be willing to pay $60 for this fucking game. It's given me so many hours of entertainment, and still to this day is just a fucking great game. Moving on here, we're going to start talking about some of my other favorite things about Noita, some honorable mentions here, if you will. Now, aside from the fact slinging spells out of her fucking rod, dude, Noita has a lot of other things that are my favorite about it. Noita has an amazing mod community that deserves to be shouted out. They have added so much good shit to Noita. If you're the type of person who likes an easy to mod game with plenty of good mods, look no further than Noita. It has Steam Workshop support, so that means all of them are fucking super easy to install. And it doesn't even have the problem that Rain World does, where Noita is actually a very well-running fucking moddable game. And another thing that I don't think I mentioned throughout my entire review of this game is that Noita basically those old Flash games with the falling sand, you know, that you used to play on Newgrounds. Basically the same fucking engine as one of those, but it actually has a game built around it. So if you're one of those people that's nostalgic for those old sand Flash games, a brilliant community. Everybody in the modding scene is fucking hilarious, and everybody who plays Noita was a piece of shit. Everybody just fucking loves it. But overall, it's been one of the couple indie games that's genuinely reignited my passion for gaming and made me want to continue gaming in general. Honestly, Noita is such a good game. It really just redeems video games. If you don't know why you do this hobby anymore, I'd fucking play Noita, man. Anyways, thanks for listening to my schizo ramble about me talk about how fuck indie game that nobody fucking plays or has heard of ever. Viewing another fun indie game that we like here.